What's going on, guys? It's your boy Bo, and we're back with another Quidditch 101 video. Today is officially the first episode of Season 2 of Quidditch 101. This is going to be an offensive type strategy. This is going to be the more basic offensive strategy that you're going to see on the pitch. We're going to be doing two different versions. One that represents a 3-man chaser strategy and a 2-man chaser strategy. This is because you'll not always have 3 chasers on the pitch. And going with our same format as last season and the traditional Quidditch format with 3 chasers, there's going to be, obviously a 3 chaser strategy as well. That kind of branches off of the same strategy for the 2-man chaser. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we are here on the pitch. We have our zones marked, our keepers on the field, and let's go ahead and put our chasers on the pitch. Alright, so we now have our chasers on the pitch, and ideally you want to be situated in something similar to this format. This is going to be the 2-man chaser, because like I said, you're not always going to have 3 chasers on the pitch, and we're going to try to minimize the amount of teammates that we're going to have at any given time, because you never know what you're going to expect, right? So for the 2-man chaser route, this is ideally the setup that you're going to want to be in. Obviously, we are the blue team here, and we are playing offense, trying to score in the red rings. So starting the offensive strategy, what you're going to want to do is have your keeper pass it inbounds to the open chaser that's closest. And then from this point forward, you're also going to want to try to get the quaffle up the field as fast as you can to really kind of shake up the defense. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to pass the quaffle over to our second chaser. Or if you have 3 chasers, he can get in the mix as well, but we'll go over that here in a little bit. So you're going to want to pass the quaffle off to the other chaser. And then following that pass, your chaser that just made the pass is going to proceed up the field. And then once that chaser makes its way up the field, I'll go ahead and move this chaser over for you. So once this chaser makes its way up the field, as I have demonstrated here, what's going to happen is your chaser that just received the quaffle is now going to pass it over to the other chaser. And then immediately following this pass, the chaser that just passed it, so this chaser, the second one that you passed, is going to fall back all the way back up the field and get ready for defense. Because once that pass is made, you're really just only kind of screwing your teammates over just in case that shot doesn't go in. And then you have nobody in the back zone to cover any defense. So once that pass is made, your chaser runs back and gets ready for defense. And hopefully that your teammate is confident enough to make the shot. And obviously you're not going to want to do the most obvious shot. You're going to want to shoot it in the opposite ring or the middle ring if that's easier. So ideally this is the play, and from there you're pretty much set up for a defensive push, because your one chaser will be here waiting for any passes that will be inbounds from the opposite team, and your other chaser will be in the back zone ready for any long distance passes. Now you might say, oh, but what about the beaters? The beaters, so we're going to only demonstrate with 1 beater as of right now. We don't know how many beaters are going to be in the game, and you really only need 1 beater for this play to work anyways. So our beater is going to chill here in the back of R2, just kind of waiting for any opposing chasers to make a tackle play or kind of get up in the mix and just mess things up. So this beater is really going to just provide that offensive push and the cover that chaser is going to need, especially going from B1 to R2. Alright, now let's start this with a 3-man chaser stack. So typically this is going to be your more standard Quidditch. So in standard Quidditch, and also stemming off from Season 1 of Quidditch 101, so this is going to be the basic offensive push that is similar to the 2-man chaser strategy. It's just going to throw an extra man in there. So let's go ahead and get into this one. So obviously on the inbounds pass, you're going to pass it to the closest chaser. And then from there, just like the 2-man chaser strategy, you're going to hurry up and pass it to get this quaffle up the field and kind of shake up the defense. So we're going to go ahead and pass it to the next closest chaser. So the main difference on the 3-man strategy is that after the first chaser passes the quaffle over, he's not going to do anything. He's going to sit in the back zone and be ready for defense. So his job is done. He's done his job. And the other 2 chasers can take over from here. So, and then once this second chaser, the one that's smack dab in the middle of the field, receives the quaffle, shaking up the defense once again. You're going to pass it as soon as you get it. So you've successfully passed the quaffle over to the third chaser, and now this is where the routes start coming in. So the middle chaser and the third chaser are now making their way up the field as shown, and the third chaser down here is having the quaffle, and he is making his way up the pitch. Essentially, if you have an open goal, you're more than capable of scoring right now with the third chaser. If you think you can get the goal in, go ahead and, shoot away. But ideally, the keeper is going to be there ready to get the interception or ready to block that ring because you're getting close to the scoring zone. So typically on this route, I have it set up to where you can do I guess football term, a lateral pass over to the other chaser. So I just moved the chaser over here. If you want to go ahead and do that lateral pass to play it safe and get away from the keeper, that's probably your safest bet. And then from there, I mean, he can just score, and then your chaser, your third chaser, the one that has the quaffle third, he can just fall back and get ready for defense. And now you have one chaser in the front field and two chasers in the back field. So one's ready to get that inbounds interception, and then the two in the back are just there for, defensive support in case it happens to get by you. So this is the first main offensive strategy for Season 2. I feel like it's really good. I sat down and really gave it some thought. And from my perspective, this is one of the better routes to do. It's going to be the more basic one, the one that you're going to see most often until you get up to, really high ranked lobbies. So if you guys have any feedback on this specific offensive strategy, obviously, let me know down below. Or if you think it's not going to work, if you think it's a great play, let me know. And until next time, guys, I think the next video we're going to be doing a defensive strategy, something similar to combat this type of play. But yeah, until next time, guys, this has been your boy Bo, and I'll see you on the Quidditch pitch.